Hey guys, welcome back to Celeb Craze. Today we'll talk about one of the most exploited stars in the industry. Let's head into it. Brooke Shields, 11-month-old model. When we say Brooke Shields began early, we mean 11 months old early. This goes all the way back to 1966 when she was in a photo shoot for Ivory Soap. Since that time, she was constantly in front of the camera as a child model, a very successful one at that. Shields turned her modeling into an acting career, first appearing in After the Fall, a TV movie. She then saw time on Alice, Sweet Alice, and then another TV movie called The Prince of Central Park. Then came the controversy. Lawsuits, That Child Prostitute, and more lawsuits. Pretty Baby is the movie that really started it all for Shields. In so many ways. She was 12 years old when she grabbed the role of a child prostitute in the movie. She was also 12 years old when she was filmed nude for that movie. Immediately, child porn was called into play. How could a director allow such a thing? How can a mother, Teri Shields in this case, who also happened to be Brooke's manager, allow it? Well, they did, and according to Brooke Shields, 40 years later she can look back with no regrets. She told Vanity Fair in 2018, "It was the best creative project I've ever been associated with. The best group of people I've ever been blessed enough to work with. This wouldn't be the only controversy Brooke Shields would have to deal with as a minor. She was also under fire stemming from nude images taken of her in 1975 by photographer Gary Gross and Playboy Press, which her mother allowed and signed away consent to. Brooke Shields was 10 years old at the time. The lawsuit in question lasted 2 years and ended in Gross's favor. Brooke Shields in the Blue Lagoon. Controversy continued to follow Brooke Shields, and perhaps it was more of her mother's making. Brooke starred in another controversial movie, The Blue Lagoon, another movie that featured nudity, and one where Brooke Shields claims she used a body double for some of the nudity. The movie was about two teenagers, Shields and co-star Christopher Atkins, who find themselves alone in a deserted island where they are trying to survive, also learning about their sexual awakening at the time. Brooke Shields had to later testify in front of a US congressional inquiry, stating that body doubles in fact were used in the movie. Controversy sells, like it always does. Brooke Shields continued to work. Her modeling career continued. Her movie and TV work continued. She moved on to movies like Sahara, The Muppets Take Manhattan, Brenda Starr, and Speed Zone, and that was just closing out the 80s. Brooke Shields and Brenda Starr. The decade of the 90s was busy for Brooke Shields, as her work began to cross over to more TV work. She continued to be seen on commercials. She also continued to model. Her TV work included stints on Quantum Leap, Tales from the Crypt, and The Larry Sanders Show, as well as TV movies like An American Love and Nothing Lasts Forever. Her earlier controversy did nothing to hurt her reputation. Brooke Shields and the King of Pop. It's no secret that Brooke Shields maintained a special relationship with the King of Pop, Michael Jackson. In fact, Jackson asked Shields to marry him on more than one occasion. Her response, she told the Rolling Stone, "I would say, you would have me for the rest of your life. You don't need to marry me. I'm going to go on and do my own life and have my own marriage and my own kids. And you'll always have me." I think it made him relax. He didn't want to lose things that meant something to him. As the pair grew older, she began to look at Jackson differently. Again, she told RS, "You saw women who were more sexual and wanted to throw themselves at him and feel like they were going to teach him." She recalls, "We just found each other and we didn't have to deal with our sexuality." She also explained to Rolling Stone, "As I grew up and started having boyfriends, I would share with him. And he was like a little kid who talked about bases. What the first base was, what second base was, and it sounded very odd to the outside, I can imagine, but to the inside, to someone who's never really left his bubble, you can understand how he would be curious." Brooke Shields keeps going. Brooke Shields has never stopped working. She pops up from time to time on TV commercials still, and her acting career continues to blossom. She was the lead in Suddenly Susan, a series that ran for 4 seasons. The early 2000s saw her on TV shows like Just Shoot Me, That 70s Show, Entourage, Law & Order, Criminal Intent, and 2.5 Men. She was also in Lipstick Jungle and recurring on Hannah Montana. As the 2000s rolled into the teens, Brooke Shields kept rolling with it, Scream Queens, Nightcap, Law & Order Special Victims Unit, The Middle, and Jane the Virgin became part of her resume. Shields has also done her fair share of voice work. She has lent her vocal cords to shows like Gary the Rat, Wonder Pets, Mr. Pickles, and Creative Galaxy. Brooke Shields has also done her fair share of theater work. She has appeared in a few Broadway musicals, one being in Grease when she played Rizzo. She also played Sally Bowles in Cabaret. Shields performed in Wonderful Town, Chicago, and finally as Morticia Addams in the musical version of The Addams Family. She definitely has talent. Brooke Shields now. Now 55 years old, Brooke Shields has put all the controversy behind her. She has 2 daughters with Chris Henchy, who she married in 1999. Here, she's with one of her daughters. While the relationship with her mother hit a straining point, she has no regrets about her early career and what it gave her. Shields continues to pull in acting gigs, and there are no signs of her stopping. If you want to learn more about the model and actress, she also publishes her memoirs, There Was a Little Girl, The Real Story of My Mother and Me, which goes into the many aspects of her rough relationship with her mother. This brings us to the end of our video. I hope you enjoyed it. Hit like if you did. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel so that you don't miss any of our videos in the future. Also, watch the 2 videos that are on your screen because I'm sure you'll love them. With that, I'll see you in the next video.